views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hey everybody, how are you? How you doing? How you feeling? Hope you're feeling well. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. Welcome to Open BXRX. I've got it all for you. Coming up on today's show, we'll speak to a female graffiti artist who speaks about her latest piece and her love for arts. Then we'll speak to the CEO, founder, and board member of an organization who is providing major opportunities for the Black community here in the United States and beyond. Then we'll hear from the executive director of an iconic and historic landmark that is providing opportunities for youths while continuing to preserve and honor the past. After that, Bobby C has the latest in the world of sports. And then we'll hear from an author who's inspiring others to accomplish their dreams while providing mentorship for the next generation. So stay tuned. All that and more is headed your way. We are now open. Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. It's the live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. Now, you can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. It's like that. Leading things off, wow, we have a wonderful one for you. Our first guest is a graffiti artist who had her most recent work nestled in graffiti roots and power. Whoa. Featured in a South Bronx artist run space, and she joins us to speak about her love for graffiti art and what motivates her to continue creating and innovating in unique spaces. Please welcome to the show, Olga Correa. Olga, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you so much.
Now, do you take that Motown step back all the way into the days where, you know, the hip hop culture? How did you start?
And when it began, yeah, I was raised in the Bronx. I was here in the burning Bronx.
Uh-huh.
When everything started developing again, it was just part of the culture. You know, you wanted to be seen. How were
Yeah.
you seen? You right on the walls.
Yeah. Now, in that culture, there was the dress, there was that dress code, there was the dance, there was the rap or DJ or cut creator, and all those. Were you involved in all of that or some of it?
The music part, because it was just part of the culture, and
Yeah.
I live next to Casita Maria, and that's where Master Flash used to play. So, you know, I would try to sneak in. I was still, you know, too young, but I would sneak in. I was like maybe 13, 12.
Uh-huh.
Um, but you also had the street parties where they put
Yeah.
the tables to the light post. Always involved somehow, some way.
But you had to take the fuse out of the bottom of the light pole and put a 30 amp fuse in there so that you can plug your.
And
I know. I used to do it.
It still
Yeah.
works the same.
You see my records back there.
I see.
Some of
I
those records
know.
from
I
back
see your
then.
collection. Absolutely.
So you used to DJ also?
No, not at all. My cousins did, you know, and I played around with it. Just wasn't my thing. I
Yeah.
preferred to just watch and, you know, enjoy the music. But yeah, that.
So how did you decide you wanted to become a graffiti artist?
Well, I live in Fort Apache, the Bronx. One of my
Wait, let me get that record. Hold on.
That's right.
Play Apache. Did it?
That's right.
But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. They saw I was extremely shy, painfully shy, and I was always doodling. And one of my teachers asked me if I like to draw, and I was like, yeah, you know, my family, they're all pretty much artists.
Uh-huh.
And it came natural. And he said, you should apply to High School of Art and Design. And I had no idea. I didn't even travel out the Bronx. And he collectively put together my portfolio, pay for everything.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah. That's
you know,
great.
spoke to my mom and would take me on Saturdays to Central Park, and I would do sceneries and prepared me, and I made it to art and design, and that was the beginning of me really taking not just art in general, but graffiti, because I came in that era in the 80s where Lady Pink, Mares, Carlos, Bill Blass, fabulous artists, and we was all kids at the time. We had no idea.
Yeah. I remember Bill Blass is out of Brooklyn.
Yes.
Yeah. And he has a small he has a lounge out there in Brooklyn too, where you can go in and eat and listen to some music and sip on a couple of beers here and there. So you do this in unique places now. Tell us, what are those unique places?
Legalized.
Yeah.
um I do canvases now, so
Yeah.
I got reintroduced to the love of graffiti. And
So you took a break. You took a break for a second.
absolutely,
Yeah.
I after I graduated from art and design, I went to FIT. I was
Oh,
actually a designer for 15 years, so I
yeah.
didn't do graffiti. I was actually a fashion designer for J. Crew, Bugle. I did a lot of men and boys, Bugle Boys. So that took me to a different realm.
Yeah.
And then after that, life had children, started working for the city, put that in the back burner again. And a couple of years ago, started going to galleries again and reintroducing myself with my friends, new
That
art.
burning desire popped back out, right?
Absolutely.
This is what I
And,
love too.
and I see that a lot of European people all over the world love graffiti. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, like I remember it was so taboo to do that. And I just picked it up again and never
Yeah.
lost the skill set.
Because
And
yeah,
go ahead.
because there was that thing back then. You had to put it on this area. You put it in this area, and then whoop, you dipped
Well,
out.
art and design, we all had black books and stuff, and the dean would have your tag in a book in the dean's office, and if you wrote in the school, so it was a
Yeah.
no-no. So yeah, we all had our tag names and everything, but it was supposed to be secret.
Did your name ever travel?
No, no, I stayed local. I stayed local. Also,
I
if
mean,
you
on a train. On a train.
well, I'll tell you one story. You had to be part of a crew. I was never part of the crew. I was really a loner. I decided
Yeah.
go out and try this. I went by myself, got to the train track and realized I'm only 5'2". I couldn't reach the train. I couldn't even touch the bottom of the opening of the door. And so I
Yeah.
realized it's not for me. I'm too short. I don't understand how they did this.
You took a look at it though.
I did. And decided it just wasn't for me.
Yeah. So what you're doing now is your love has popped back out. So what are you doing now? Tell us about it.
This wonderful person named Blanca, I used to follow her artwork in her gallery.
Yeah.
And one day she said, how did you come about me? And I said, well, Jason Keeling, he's a fabulous artist from Brooklyn. He was a classmate of mine and told me about you. So I started going to your gallery. And then it hit her. She says, you must be an artist. And I was like, oh, I have portfolio, but it's been so long ago. But during my lunch hour, I sketch all the time. I never stop. So I put it together in a binder and she was like, well, show me your work. I'm like, oh my God, it's been almost 15 years. But hey, I'll show you all my sketches that I do
Yeah.
during lunchtime. And she was blown away. She's like, you're gonna have a solo show on March, which is Women's Month. And I was like, I don't even have canvases. I haven't even painted.
Yeah.
Like you said, the passion. I was so drawn. I made 30 pieces for her within 2 months. And I sold out. That was one of her
Whoa.
biggest show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I haven't stopped since.
Yeah. So tell us about your recent work, Nestled in Graffiti, Roots and Power. Tell us about that.
that was it. That was Blanca's. It's a AAA 3A gallery, and I decided to make them all 8x8 because it was quick and
Got
easy.
it. Yeah.
Because I still had a full-time job, 2 kids, 2 dogs, you know. So, and I love bright colors. So I never draw the same thing twice. I don't. If you get a piece of mine, it will be an original and you'll never see it again.
Well,
And
wait a minute. If it's sold out, what, and they want more, how do you get
I
back to it?
I would do another version of it, but I never duplicate a piece.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like there's one piece that everyone wanted. Uh it's Tiffany. You know, the Breakfast at Tiffany. So I
Yes.
did
Yeah.
the background is Tiffany color,
Wow.
and it's her. But if you look very closely, it's not pearls, it's spray can tops. And her earrings are spray can and her crown, and then she's holding a can. Very
Yeah. Wow.
crazy. They wanted that. Now I have drawings of different versions of it, which I'll reproduce and you can purchase it. But that one piece, the person that bought it will only have that one piece.
Oh, that's special. That's gonna be worth a lot of money down the line too.
I'm hoping.
Probably worth a lot of money now.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. So you have any future projects that's coming up that you're working on?
Scheme took me under his wing and we went to Chicago. Those are the pieces that I have now. And we were supposed to go to Atlanta. We was gonna have kind of like a
Yeah.
travel show. We was gonna open up in Manhattan, Brooklyn, and then head out to Atlanta. But because of the pandemic and we're kind of shut down as far as travel is concerned, I had a virtual show
Uh-huh.
about 6 months ago, but it's
Yeah.
kind of I kind of just sell from home at this point, which social media is wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, I get DMs all the time. I just had a painting that I sold to someone in Texas that I don't
Mhm.
even know. So that's basically how you kind of keep afloat.
Yeah. The exhibition, is it still open? Can people come and see some of your work?
I think I have the link to it. I'll send
Oh, they
it.
can go online and check it out.
Right, right.
Yeah.
It was at the Bronx Art Space.
Yeah.
Gloria was the one that was the curator. There's a
Mhm.
few. There's a few things that I think is still online.
Yeah. All right. What do you hope to work on in the future? Where do you want to take it from here? You got the two. You got the dog. You got the 2 dogs. You got the 2 children. You got the 2 or 3 jobs.
I just discovered stickers. I am so in love with stickers. So now, as a matter of fact, I started selling. This is my new passion. I love stickers.
Oh wow! Yeah, look at that. Wow.
Because I collect stickers. So why
Yeah.
not create my own?
Yeah.
These-
People will buy them. So
Yes.
how did we get them?
You could just DM me on Instagram. I have the prices and everything, and then I'll just ship it to you.
Okay.
But
What's the
that's
Instagram? What's the handle?
Olga Correa altogether underscore art.
Uh-huh.
So that,
Olga Correa.
yes,
How come I was rolling my tongue on that?
you're supposed to.
Let me
Forget
hear
me.
you roll your tongue.
Correa.
There you go.
So that's my new passion is stickers.
Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, and do you have a website?
Not yet. Not as of yet.
So
But
should we just go to Instagram and
absolutely.
Olga Correa? Olga Correa, Instagram.
No, _art. Don't forget the art.
Yeah, Olga Correa
Yeah.
_art.
Underscore, yeah. And I have a second one, but that one's kind of private, but you can also, it's Olga from NYC.
Not anymore. It's not private anymore. Say it again if you want to go there.
Olga and from NYC.
Okay, Olga, thank you so much.
Available as well. I have a few.
Okay, hold them up while I wrap you up. You got a few? Olga Correa, graffiti artist. Thank you so much. Thanks for being with
You.
us.
My
All
pleasure.
right. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe. And God
Well,
bless you and good luck with everything.
thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you
Thank you,
all.
Olga.
Bye-bye.
All right. We'll take a break. There's more open next. Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and our next guests are the founder and CEO of DGA NY LLC and the legal business and consultant of DGA NY LLC. And they join us today to highlight their program and speak about how DGA is creating opportunities within the Black community and to highlight their vision of a dual citizenship. Please welcome to the show, David Grant and John Lewis. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you tell us about DGA NY LLC and how the initiative began?
Yes, I can do that. My name
Okay.
is David Grant, and I am the CEO, also the president of DGA NY LLC. And the vision that we have for a humanitarian project that we're working on right now, it came to me more or less through a dream that I had, where I saw people of brown and black that we were taken out of the city, and we would place like on in the mountains, and this was way back. Almost like 8 or 9 months ago. And when that happened, I was in the process of putting the business together. And we do have other projects that we do have other things that the business was established for, such as painting and cleaning offices and also homes. We do interior painting and so forth. But we have taken up this particular project, our humanitarian project, which we call the dual citizenship with our African nation. And the reason
this is what the dream helped you to establish. What did
Yes.
the dream put in place for you?
Yes, as far as this dual citizenship project, more or less, that's where I got that from. Was through the dream, and so brought that to the company and spoke to the directors in regards to that, and got their input on it, and they decided that it was okay. We could go ahead with that, and we did,
Yeah.
and we are going ahead with the dual citizenship with the African nations. And one of the, I guess, things that seem to broaden that dream that I have is the way that the way that the nation, the United States of America president has been acting of late. And we know about some of his feelings as far as people of black and brown color are concerned. And it seems to me that having dual citizenship, it gives us the opportunity not only of seeing where we as descendants of slaves came from, but it also gives us the opportunity of have someplace else to go in case this nation should come up with another crazy president that we have now, and God forbid, but he would introduce such thing as getting rid of black and brown people or put them in cages someplace. So with this dual citizenship, we will always have that opportunity to leave this nation and go someplace else. There are those that are called Jews that are doing it now in Israel, even though Israel is a part of Africa until they cut it off and mostly gave it to the Europeans. But anyway, we have the opportunity now to be able to choose. Right now, we're dealing with like 11 African nations, and you would choose whichever nation that you would like your dual citizenship to be with, and we will proceed having that done for you at no cost to you.
So if anybody's looking for a dual citizenship, they come to you guys and you do all the paperwork and put it all together. But they have to choose a particular nation in Africa.
That is correct. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that is correct. And
John
so
Lewis, John Lewis, what part do you play?
Well, David had asked me to chair this particular initiative as a board member of DGA.
Yeah.
And as such, I commenced that initiative drive by trying to contact the embassies of the 10 African nations that were even accepting dual citizenship, because not all African nations even accept dual citizenship. And from the 10, there were 3 that we did get a response from. But one of the dilemmas that we've been having is simply trying to get that inroad to directly speak with someone either from the embassy or someone who has information that they can share or be a little bit more responsive to us with respect to our attempt to participate, co-sponsor, or however which you want to describe our relationship, associate ourselves with the African Diaspora Forum. So from that standpoint, we have been in recent days speaking with a couple of people who have at least given us some, I say, fruitful insight, although not direct insight in terms of how to reach someone from an embassy standpoint, but has given us some information regarding how the backdrop is and how I would say, the protocol, so to speak, is directed between our possible relationship with the African nation and their particular relationship with us.
How many nations do you said you have 3 nations so far that responded?
3 that just responded, but again, it's almost a general concept. Everything, as I had mentioned to David when this started, everything is pretty much directed through their immigration department. And that would also in turn be something that I know that we would have to, or at least the persons here who are American citizens would have to deal with from the United States. But it's really more here. Go ahead.
And David, that's just one of the initiatives that you're working on, right, within your organization?
Yeah, that's just one. That is one of the one that's up front right now as far as our humanitarian projects are concerned. Now, as I stated, the company is a working type of company. As I said, we do cleaning. We also do painting. We also do radio and TV broadcasting and things like that. So this particular project being in the front of us at this time, we were working, very diligently to get this accomplished. And so that's where we came to you for your assistance, seeing if we could get this information out to as many people as we know, and to have them to contact us so that we could get them registered for the dual citizenship.
So these are people who are looking for a dual citizenship that they can either stay in America or go to a country in Africa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Plus,
How
we
do we
have
get more information on it?
more information can be gotten by giving us a call. We also have, that's what we're set up to do right now. Give us a call and we will get you registered. And then we'll communicate with you from that point on. We get our brochure and get it out to you, let you
Yeah.
see what the company is doing.
Yeah, and you'll let people know, John. You'll let people know how many, if they have to get shots or not, depending on which country they're going. For instance, South Africa. If you go to South Africa, you don't need any shots, but a lot of the other countries in Africa, you do.
I'd advise you to get them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
So thank you, gentlemen, for coming up. And did we miss anything? Any last words you want to let our public know?
Well, indeed, as I said, we just like for everyone to share this information because we know that there's the possibility that some folks will want us shut down, as they say. Some part of the nation, they don't want you to really be free in everything that you do as a citizen. But we do know there are many folks who are known as Jews that have dual citizenship with Israel and in other nations, so it's not really something that far-fetched at this particular time in our history.
Okay. What's that website again? And Phyllis Sheldon, thank you so much. What's your website again?
Okay, we're going to give our phone number and ask folks to contact us that way. And our website goes particularly to our work that we're doing, other than this humanitarian work. We have a website as far as our painting is.
So let me ask you a question again, because I'll just snip that out. How can people get in touch with you once again for more information?
Okay, 917-969-7721. They could dial that number and would get the company. 917-969-7721. And
917-969-7721.
Correct. And as far as looking at the work that we're doing at our painter's website, is the address there is Painter, Painter, and it's New York, and that's .com.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much. Dual citizenships. David Grant, founder and CEO of DGA NY LLC, and John Lewis, Board of Directors, legal and business consultant, DGA NY LLC, and founder and CEO of, what's that, Venture Quest Partners Ltd? We didn't mention that, but we did now. Thank you guys so much, and have a great day. Stay safe and be blessed, and good luck.
Thank
All
you.
right, thanks a lot. Thanks, Bob. Thanks for allowing us to be on the program.
You got it. We'll take a break. We've got more coming up next on Open. Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS and BronxNet TV. Our next guest is the Executive Director of Woodlawn Conservancy. She joins us to speak about all of the services and recreational activities offered by Woodlawn. Please welcome to the show, Meg Ventrudo.
Thank you, Bob. It's great to be here.
Yes. Tell us about it. We're talking about Woodlawn, Woodlawn Cemetery and Conservancy, and its impact in our community. It has a rich history and landmark. Tell us about that.
So Woodlawn is an 1863 National Historic Landmark. It was founded during the Civil War, and it was really founded in the Bronx, in a remarkable place because the newly formed Hudson River Rail line came up to the cemetery. So it was easily accessible to Manhattan to get to Woodlawn. And because of that, it became a cemetery for some quite notable Wall Street folks, some quite notable lawyers, and then as the cemetery evolved, for quite a few very notable entertainers, especially those jazz musicians and entertainers that came out of the Harlem Renaissance.
Yeah.
Our cemetery is located on Webster Avenue and Jerome Avenue, up in the North Bronx, and the 4 train stops on one side and the Metro North stops on the other. So it is quite easy to get to. And because of that, we see visitors from all over the world to visit some of the famous graves we have here, like Duke Ellington and Miles Davis, and all kinds of, Max Roach is also buried here. So many of the famous jazz musicians are buried here.
Yeah, yeah. And you said it goes way back to the Civil War?
It goes back to the Civil War. And actually we have remains of service people from every war dating back to the Revolutionary War. So some of those remains were buried, removed and then reinterred here at Woodlawn.
Wow, wow, yeah. A lot of history right there. Anything in that area that you can remember that dates way back along with the cemetery?
Admiral Farragut was originally buried here, and of course he was an admiral in the Navy during the Civil War years, and Farragut Circle in Washington, D.C. is named after him. And because of our connection to Admiral Farragut, we're also part of the Hispanic Heritage Trail of the National Park Service as well.
How do you fit into recreational activities? Tell us about that part.
So Woodlawn has over 17 miles of road, and we're open every day from 8:30 to 4:30. During this recent COVID crisis, we've seen a lot of folks from the neighborhood just walking our grounds, being able to be socially distant, enjoying nature. We are considered an urban forest with the amount of trees we have here on site. We do offer a calendar of events. We offer some walking tours, some trolley tours. Our numbers have been lower because of COVID, but we've still been able to have them. Being an outdoor site, it's a little bit easier to have some programming. We will have a walking tour actually this coming weekend. And usually on Saturdays and Sundays, there are events up here at Woodlawn.
Is that a part of the Bronx trolley tour? The Bronx trolley
we
tour
have
goes
our
through?
own trolley, and I am fairly
Okay.
new here, but I do believe at one point it was part of the Bronx trolley tour, and there have been some collaborative events with the folks that run that tour.
Then you have a preservation training program and landscape restoration program. Tell us about that.
Yeah, one of our most important programs that we have here at the cemetery is called Bridge to Crafts Careers. And we work with young folks between the ages of 18 and 24, preparing them for careers in masonry, construction, historic preservation, and now we just added a landscape component. So it's a very intensive program, but the cemetery serves as an outdoor learning lab for these young people. You have to have a high school degree, either a GED or a high school diploma or an equivalency. And you take a test to get into the program. There's an interview, it's a screening program. And the young people are learning job skills and learning interview skills, as well as the hands-on work. So our masonry preservation program is starting up again in February. And our young people will learn how to set gravestones. They will learn how to clean mausoleums. They'll learn pointing and mortar and how to safely work on scaffolding. And so it's a really intense program, and it's combined with some academic learning where guest speakers come in and talk about the importance of historic preservation. And the cemetery is also benefiting because these young people are beautifying and already beautiful 1863 historic landmarks. So it is a wonderful program. And we have a very successful placement rate, whether our young people are deciding that they want to go to college for further study or go on to jobs in either landscaping or masonry. It's really fantastic. The other thing that,
it's a place where they can get the practical experience and knowledge.
It is
and
definitely
also
a practical
academic knowledge. Yeah,
it is a practical experience, and this is the 6th year of the program for us, so we're very excited about it.
That's great. And you, I'm sorry, you were mentioning that they can go into college and then come back and maybe work. There's job offerings.
So some folks go right into the workforce, and some kids say, well, maybe this isn't for me and I want to go back to school. We know with our landscape kids, Bronx Community College has a landscape restoration major. And some of them thought, oh, maybe I might want to do some more schooling in this field. So that's a great outcome too. We're happy wherever they land, and we encourage them. We work with The Door, which is a social services agency, and The Door helps with those interview skills and job placements. And so it's a very comprehensive program. And I think that's why it has such a high success rate.
Wow, Meg, you guys are doing a lot of things there. We didn't know. Thank you
it's
for
great.
bringing up the information. Yeah.
It is really great. Mm-hmm.
So people can find out more by going where? So
our website is woodlawn.org, and just WOODLAWN.org. We are open every day, 8:30 to 4:30, and the grounds are open for walking. We have maps available that will take you to the historic grave sites, the notable architecture on the site. We are the largest collection of funerary art in the United States. And so just walking the grounds and seeing the beautiful sculpture, some by Daniel Chester French, and architecture by McKim Mead and White, and all of these names that are just so important to New York's built environment are all here at Woodlawn. So we're open to just enjoy the grounds, and you can visit our website at woodlawn.org.
You know, you know so much. You told me that you just started this, but you know so much about it. I forgot to ask you, how did they reach out to you, and how did you find out about this particular job or area?
I come from a museum background, and so this was in a museum background here in New York City. So it was just an opportunity to work in a different type of arts and cultural and historic preservation organization, and the collection of funerary art was something that was very appealing to me. And then to learn about all these wonderful workforce development programs and see kids getting involved in historic preservation, historic landscapes. This is not just, here guys, here's some rakes and you can clean up the cemetery. They were looking at historic planting plans and putting in new plantings around mausoleums. And sometimes in the field, we don't talk about how we're educating the next generation of museum professionals or the next generation of historic preservation professionals. So yes, while we're training these young folks for jobs in masonry and construction, you know, they may remember that their first experience was working at a historic site and transfer that experience at some point in their careers.
Meg, thank you so much. It was very enlightening to be able to talk to you and find out more about Woodlawn.
Bob, thank you for having me, and please come visit Woodlawn.
Yes, okay. And give us a website one more time.
The website is www.woodlawn.org.
Thank you. Meg Ventrudo, Executive Director of Woodlawn Conservancy. We appreciate you. Thank you. God bless and stay safe.
Thank you. You too. Thank you for having me.
Okay. All right, we'll take a break right here. And coming up, well, Bobby C has the latest in the world of sports. You don't want to miss it. Stay right here. We'll be right back.
We know that people are dealing with the health crisis, but there's also a lot of food insecurity.
We're giving out healthy food options, and that's what's key here.
If you're a senior, you have a disability, they'll actually deliver meals to you.
The residents are anxious, they're worried, they're scared, they want to be tested.
When things were happening in our community, and we couldn't get the help.
There's almost a presumption of criminality that attaches to your skin color.
The site will prioritize those who are at highest risk in the population.
If you feel symptoms and you'd like to visit one of these COVID-19 testing sites here in the Bronx, you may call the State Health Department's hotline.
Important to note about this site is no reservations are needed. This is a walk-in clinic.
A lot of us are out of work and looking for something to do.
We have the machinery and the skills to make large scales of these masks and gowns.
Take care of your people. It's going to go way further than we actually can understand.
Right now, employees like myself are just adjusting to the new reality.
Reporting from BronxNet, this is Janice Jenkins.
We welcome in a good friend of mine this morning here on BronxNet. We have Arden Franklin with us from SB Nation, USA Today, and FanDuel. Arden, how's it going?
Everything is good, Bobby. I can't complain. I appreciate you guys for having me on the show. Thank you, man.
So great to see you, my man. I mean, this has, of course, been a tough time for many sports reporters, not only in New York City, but around the world with the COVID-19 pandemic. And it's just great to see you still creating some awesome content, and excited to talk a little bit about sports with you. I mean, right now things may be starting to look a little better here in the Big Apple with some of the football teams.
Yeah.
I want to get your thoughts, man. Are the Giants for real?
Hey, man, I think so. You know, the Giants were one of those teams even back before this winning streak, crazy enough to some people, that as long as you watched them, you saw the potential that they had, right? Of course, they were losing games, and, you know, Daniel Jones, who I like, by the way, was struggling from time to time, and they had their injuries. But you looked at this group and you saw, hey, they're competing. Like, they're not getting blown out every week. They're competing. They're creating chances to win, but they're not cashing in. So in a way, I'm not surprised by this latest run. I'm not really surprised by their win over Seattle in Seattle. It's the NFL. Crazier things have happened. And when you look at the Giants' history, they have a thing for those December postseason runs, you know, so this is what they do. I'm not surprised at all.
And a crazy season, too, of course, with the pandemic. But I think if you would have told any Giant fan that they lose Saquon Barkley in week 2 and that they would be looking at first place in December, they would be looking at you like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Right? Like, if you was to say that, then they're going to either ask, hey, what makes you believe so much, or they're going to ask what you're smoking. So, but hey, things like that happen, and the Giants are in a good position to compete. Kudos to them.
So Giants defense, I think, has been a big part of that. And I guess right now, we're speaking of defense here in New York, the Jets have been on the defensive because they get rid of their defensive coordinator in week 13. So is that a fireable offense, pretty much, that meltdown against the Las Vegas Raiders with pretty much seconds to go in week 13? Do you think it was the right decision for the Jets to get rid of their defensive coordinator?
Absolutely. I would say in any other circumstances, that sort of play call on fourth down is worth firing any defensive coordinator for. Like, you just don't go a full-out blitz against somebody like Derek Carr at quarterback and Henry Ruggs, who runs like a 4.2 40 on a go route. That's ridiculous. But I personally think for the Jets, it's just a matter of, hey, why wait till the end of the season? You already know what time it is. Like, Greg Williams was not surviving till 2021. This team is clearly tanking, okay? If you're a Jets fan, a loss to you is a win, and you have enough reasons to celebrate. But just that play call, along with this defense's struggles all year long, unlike the Giants, in which, again, the Jets haven't had many great stretches where, despite losing, again, they were looking at least decent on defense. They've been terrible. They haven't really progressed the way any team should, you know, throughout the course of an NFL season. So yeah, regardless if the Jets weren't tanking, that play call was the nail in the coffin for Greg Williams, and rightfully so.
You know, Williams doesn't survive, and I think at this point, the writing is on the wall that Adam Gase needs to go too. Rightfully so, literally, rightfully so. Well, one team here in New York State that is surviving is the Buffalo Bills, man. I got to tell you, you know, looking back on the draft, you know, as good as coming in as Darnold, you know, was projected to be, or even Daniel Jones for the Giants, maybe the best quarterback here in New York in this area has got to be Josh Allen. I mean, his Week 13 performance, 375 passing yards and 4 touchdowns, and the Bills are cooking. Yeah, Josh Allen to me is a perfect example of why, folks have to be patient with young quarterbacks, and lastly, the importance of good team building. You know, depending on how old you are, how long you've been watching football, folks get so used to the fact that, you know, the Peyton Mannings, Tom Brady's, Drew Brees, even Dan Marino's or whoever, they're used to just those quarterbacks that can make a difference for an entire organization. And they have to understand that more than ever in 2020, those guys aren't there anymore. Like, of course, you got the great talents like a Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers and those guys, but those guys are not only individually great, but they're also benefited from at least being around a competent team. And that's the importance for quarterbacks. It's not only them being developed the right way, but the fact that the team around them is being built the right way. And that's what we're seeing in Buffalo. Josh Allen, you know, is a young quarterback that's been thriving, that is definitely inching his way towards elite status. But it certainly helps when you play with a team like Buffalo that says, oh, by the way,
Let's trade for Stephon Diggs. You know what? Let's make sure that we're building the right offensive unit around you. Let's make sure the defense is filled with playmakers that could get you back the ball. And let's make sure that, most importantly, we're putting you in a position where you can play free and you can just make plays. You don't need to carry us for all 4 quarters. You don't need to do, as a Colts fan that I would know, the Peyton Manning method, which is, hey, give your defense a 2-touchdown lead so they can finally do what they do best. You know what I mean? Like, Josh Allen and the Bills have a lot to be proud of because they not only rightfully developed him the right way, and of course Allen worked hard, but they built the right team around him, and that's why the Bills are more than likely making it to the playoffs.
You know, here in the Big Apple, I'm sure our Knick fans, our Net fans are, got to be excited about the prospects of maybe being better this year.
Yes.
We'll start with the Knicks. I know you cover the A-10, so you got a chance to see a lot of Obi Toppin at
Yes, sir.
He's the Knicks lottery pick, of course, out of New York, out of Brooklyn. What are your thoughts about Obi Toppin and how good he'll be in his rookie season for the Knicks?
I really like Obi Toppin. First things first, again, Obi Toppin is a Westchester County kid. We proudly claim Obi. It's always dope seeing a 914 playing in the NBA. We got Donovan Mitchell, Eric Pascal, and quite a few others. But I really like Obi. One of my first videos I made for FanDuel last month was a video saying, for those that are betting on the NBA draft, why Obi Toppin should be picked before Denny Avaha. And that if you're betting on the draft, you should bet on Obi being picked before Denny, because of the fact that Obi has an NBA-ready game. He has an NBA-ready body. And I really love the fact that he's in New York. I feel like one of the best things New York can do, and I actually just wrote about it on my own platform, AST, was the fact that they have to trust him and they have to play him. Like, I know Tibbs can be a tough coach and, everybody has to earn their minutes. Like, I get that. But Obi's one of those dudes where it's like, look, he's only going to benefit from you playing him. Let him go through his rookie season. Let him get the bumps. Let him get the ups and downs, because that's going to benefit him way more than just, I barely played this year because coach said I need to, quote unquote, earn his trust.
And maybe the biggest bucket getter in the NBA is Kevin Durant. I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think Durant's got a chance to maybe be the comeback player of the year. How excited are you to finally see Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving playing together in Brooklyn? And do you think ultimately that they get to at least the Eastern Conference Finals this year?
First things first, I'm very excited about seeing KD back, man. I miss KD a lot. KD is one of those guys that, even though the new age NBA fan that lives online may enjoy trolling him and doing all of that stuff, he's a transcendent talent, and guys like him don't come around often, so to see him healthy, to see him doing what he can do, being 6'10", pulling it from 30, handling the ball the way he does, it excites me, especially when playing with Kyrie. Like, I'm a long-time Cavs fan, so even after LeBron left 10 years ago, I stayed because not only was I loyal, but because Kyrie Irving came the next year with the number 1 pick, and he's one of my favorite players in the NBA, damn near at the top of my list. So I definitely think a healthy KD and Kyrie can take the Nets to the Eastern Conference Finals, not only because they're the best duo in the Eastern Conference, but because they do have a team. You know what I'm saying? Joe Harris can play. Karis LeVert is capable of being that third star in Brooklyn. You got to love Spencer Dinwiddie. Jared Allen's protecting the basket. And they have a young, dynamic supporting cast that's going to aid the vets and KD and Kyrie. So, I think Brooklyn should make the Eastern Conference Finals if all goes well. It'll be more of a surprise if they didn't.
Yeah, Arden, I mean, it's going to be good times here in New York, I think, with more sports being able to come back, and hopefully the fans will be able to be part of that too this year at some point.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm hoping that because I'm starting to get the itch to cover games again. I think the only games I've covered recently were NYCFC matches at Yankee Stadium, and that was like in October. And those were my first games in like 7 months. The last games I had covered before that was the Big East tournament, and I was there that day where everything shut down, and we knew this pandemic was for real. So I'm excited about covering games again. I'm hoping to be back at the Garden. I'm definitely hoping to be back at Rose Hill Gym, and we just go from there.
Always great to get your perspective. Thanks for coming.
When taking public transportation, don't touch your phone. Carry hand sanitizer and use it immediately upon leaving the bus or train. Avoid touching your face. If someone is coughing or sneezing, move away. Wash your hands with soap and water as soon as possible. Limit contact with poles. If possible, avoid rush hour. Don't eat or drink on public transportation. Keep your bag off the floor or other surfaces. Avoid directly touching turnstiles. Stay up to date with the latest from your local health department and CDC.
Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Our next guest is an author. Ooh, she gets busy too. She joins us to speak about her new book. She's putting it together. She's no stranger to the show too, and about her mentorship work also. Please welcome to the show, Janice Jenkins. Welcome, Janice.
Thank you. Good morning. How are you doing, Dr. Bob?
Nice to see and hear you today.
Good.
I remember how you look, but nice to hear your voice.
Thank you.
So your latest project is the book, right? Put Life into Your Dreams?
Yes.
Tell us about it. Give us a quick synopsis.
Sure. I thought this would be an opportune time, a new year, to release this book, to do this project. Back in May of this year, I actually won a writing award for my first book, What Were They Thinking? I won a Human Relations Indie Book Award at the gold level. And I was so encouraged by that someone read my book and thought that the message that I was conveying through my book was so valuable that they had given me this award. So I started thinking about how all of this started with me writing, and I decided to write this book again. It's part memoir. It talks about how I always aspired to write a book. And I also wanted to encourage other people to put the work into making their dreams come true, just like my dream of writing came true.
Yeah. So you put it together. And plus, you're still going around mentoring people, right?
Yes, I am. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mentorship is extremely important. And I tell folks, you don't have to join an established mentoring program. You can be an informal mentor, which means that you can mentor a relative, you can mentor a neighborhood child. Mentoring is so key. Developing that relationship in which you take time to impart information, listen to someone, help someone achieve their dreams. It's such a special relationship.
Yeah, I mentor a number of people too through my foundation, to Make the Grade Foundation for Education. And when we put the video out, you'll see a number of mentees in there. One is an 11-year-old, and he's an entrepreneur, and he started a business, like a thrift shop and some other things. And he feeds people, he feeds the community, and he talks about that. So you'll get a chance to see that. I mean, it's a wonderful thing, and it feels good knowing in your heart that you're helping others get what they need out of life. It's a special thing.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Totally agree.
So is your book a part of what you mentor people about? Or is anything in that book that you use?
Well, actually, like I said, it is, I talk about some of my mentors in the book. And I also, as I said, it's a compilation of some of my blog posts. And I know I have at least one. I may have two blog posts specifically about mentoring. That is a big theme with me. So I always try to include that theme in anything that I write. Yeah.
And I know a lot of people have time to sit back and relax and sit down and really think about things in life and things in general. So you probably had a lot of time to sit back during this pandemic. Every day running around.
Yeah, absolutely. In addition to the running around and working, I've had a chance to do some, mostly, I enjoy doing volunteer work. I haven't had a chance to do a lot of it because I prefer to do a lot of in-person volunteer work. So I've been finding myself participating in online Zoom events. I've been also trying to make, charitable donations here and there to organizations that are really in need and that are really trying to serve persons who have been impacted by COVID-19. So I've been trying to do as much of that as I, possibly can.
Oh, that's a wonderful thing. Go to makethegrade.org and hit the donate button. We've been giving out PPEs and masks and all kinds of things. So thank you. And we'll let some of the other organizations know too. We're working with a handful of organizations helping others get what they need out of life. And I think that's a beautiful thing too. Thank you for all that you're doing. Do you have any other projects that you're working on that we should know about that's coming up?
Yeah, so in addition to finishing up this book, which should be finished next month, I actually just entered 2 writing contests for 2021. So looking forward to the results of that. I'm completing a 3rd book for newer workers. Yeah, it's a sequel to my first book, and this book is going to discuss how to avoid behaviors and attitudes that can get you fired from your job. And then I'm also serving as a community interviewer for a radio project. So in addition to the charitable stuff that I'm doing, I've got these new projects that I'm working on as well.
Girl, you are working it out, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
What do you tell youngsters who want to get involved in some of the things that you're doing? What would you tell them if you're on stage or you're on TV like you are now and you look into the camera or they can hear your voice and you would say what to them about being successful and staying at it? For, don't quit. Quitters never win. Winners never quit.
Right. The number one thing that I learned that I want to pass on to everyone I meet is to take advantage of positive opportunities. I'm a shy person, and I know that in the past I've missed on opportunities because of that, but I have learned it is so important to take advantage of opportunities. Like, for example, I was a blogger for 6 years, and I almost passed up on that opportunity because I thought that my voice was irrelevant and unimportant. And there was a nagging voice that was saying, Janice, that is not true. Your voice is important. Your voice is just as important as anyone else's. Do this.
Absolutely.
You have the skills, you have the training, do this. And I contacted the editor of the blog and I said, I am interested. And I went ahead and I blogged for his publication for 6 years. Take advantage of positive opportunities. Take advantage of them.
I like that. Any final thoughts?
Any final thoughts? I'm going to read a little bit from my book, and this is my final thought. Today, I'm talking about dreams. Dreams, something so essential to the fulfillment of our individual lives and fulfillment of things that the world needs. We're saying that when you dream, dream big to make significant things happen. Dream, dream, dream. And what do we have to do with our dreams, though? We have to put life into them. And that's where I got the title of my book.
I like that.
Put life into your dream.
All right. And where can we go to buy this book? Well, it's not, you said you got 2 more months that you're working on?
Yeah, it'll be. Yeah, the book will be out January. I always refer folks to my website. My website is called JaniceTheMentor.blog. And then I'm also on Instagram at Janice Mentor.
There you go. Janice Jenkins, thank you so much. She's an author, she's a mentor, and she does so many wonderful things in our community to help others get what they need out of life. And I think that's important, very important. Thank you, Janice.
You're welcome. Happy holidays, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Stay safe, stay blessed, and we love you.
Thank you so much. Bye now.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Janice. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. I want to thank our guests for joining us and you all viewers for tuning in and checking it all out. You can follow us for continued coverage on BronxNet TV. Always remember this, what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. And remember, whether you say you can or you can't, either way, you're right. From all of us here at BronxNet TV, have a great and enjoyable day, and I'll catch you over 107.5 WBLS. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. Love you all. Peace.